What's up guys, this is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about how you can get shifty for football. So we're going to be talking about 3 tips that will help you improve your agility as a football player, and then we're going to be going over 2 drills that are great for all positions to improve your agility as a football player as well. Now the first thing that I want to talk to you about today, you guys, when it comes to making cuts, making people miss, improving your agility on the field is your foot strike and something called ankle stability. So like let's say I'm running with a football and I'm trying to make some guy miss. Whenever I decide to make a cut, whether I'm a wide receiver, a running back, you know, like maybe even you're just like a linebacker and you're trying to make a cut back to make a tackle, the part of your foot that should hit the ground first is the ball of your foot. Now, again, it doesn't mean that when you cut, you want to have your heel completely off the ground. It does not mean that you want to be on your tippy toes. If you're on your tippy toes, you're probably going to fall forward. If you land on your heel first to make a cut, that's a great way to have your leg lock out and put a lot of pressure on your knee and on your ankle to hurt yourself, but you're not going to be able to push and drive out of the cut. The first part of your foot to hit the ground has got to be the ball of your foot. Now the whole foot can be down, but your weight has to be distributed slightly forward because that's the most athletic part of your foot, and that's how you could push and get in and out of a cut to ultimately improve your agility. Now a great test of that, like I have receivers do this all the time because that's who I work with primarily is receivers and quarterbacks. I'll tell them, think about it like this. If you stand flat-footed on your heels, try to jump as high as you can. You can't really go anywhere, right? Stand on the ball of your foot and try to jump as high as you can. You obviously have a lot more bounce. It's the same thing when you're making a lateral change of direction. When you're on your heel, you don't have any push. When you're on the ball of the foot, you have more push. Now, the thing that a lot of athletes struggle with when cutting on the ball of their foot is ankle stability. So like if you're running with a ball and you cut, it requires a great deal of ankle stability to be able to cut on the ball of your foot. Like a lot of athletes know to do that, but a lot of athletes physically can't do that because their ankles are super weak. So they cut on their heel toe just to be able to stop themselves, but that limits the amount of speed and explosion they could have out of their cuts and out of their breaks. So how do you improve ankle stability? Doing a lot of single leg exercises where you're isolating being on the ball of your foot is a great way to work on that. So there's one that I do with my receivers all the time is like I'll have them get into a lunge position. So like 90-90, but what I have them do is I have them elevate their heel. So a lot of times guys who have weak ankle stability, their leg starts shaking, their ankle starts shaking because it requires ankle stability to hold this position, which is the exact position we want to try to get to when we cut. So if you focus on those 2 things, ankle stability and cutting on the ball of your foot, I promise you, you will be a shiftier football player. Now fellas, before we get into the rest of this video and we talk about some more tips and drills to help you become a shiftier football player, we just released the next 15 states that we will be traveling to for our 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps in 2026. So guys, go to that very first link in the description below if you would like to sign up and train with us if you are a quarterback or a wide receiver. Next up on our camp tour, we're going to be coming out to San Francisco, California. Then we'll be heading out to Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Columbia, South Carolina. Then after that, we will be heading out to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Seattle, Washington, Nashville, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia. Then we'll be heading out to Denver, Colorado. And then after that, we'll be going to Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, Salt Lake City, Utah, and finishing off the tour next year in Los Angeles, California. So guys, want some more information, want to sign up, go to that very first link in the description below. All of these camps, guys, this past year in 2025, sold out 2 to 3 months in advance. So make sure you take advantage of us having spots available. That's why we released this schedule early, so you guys can take advantage of that. So fellas, very first link in that description below. We'd love to see you there. Now fellas, these drills that we're going to be going over here in a second are going to be all like solo drills that you could do by yourself to improve like your shiftiness, your agility, and your ability to cut. But if you ever are in the situation where you're working with a partner, whether it's a teammate, brother, dad, whatever the case may be, working reaction drills is a great way to improve your, like, I guess you could say agility and reaction time on the field. So I'll give you an example of it, right? Something I'll do with my wide receivers is I'll hold like 2 tennis balls in my hands, right? I'll have a tennis ball in my left hand, tennis ball in my right hand. And what I'll have my receivers do is I'll have them run at me, and what I'll do is I will bounce either the tennis ball in my left hand or bounce the tennis ball in my right hand. And so what they have to do is they're running, and as soon as they see that, they got to cut and they got to react and they got to be able to go make a play. So to get shifty on the field, it's really all about reaction. And training different reactionary drills is a great way to improve that. Because like, let's say I catch like just like a simple bubble screen and I'm running, like I don't know if the defender's going to take like a low angle. I don't know if he's going to be slow and I'm going to be able to beat him to the spot. I don't know if he's going to be fast and I got to put the brakes on. It's really just a reaction, you guys. So training more reactionary type drills helps you with that. Even if it's reactionary type drills where you don't have to cut, anything that improves your reaction time is great. Like, there's something that I saw like the other day where, and again, you don't have to have this type of technology, but this is just an example where they had like a different pattern on like a board, and they had to stand there, and whatever like button lit up, they had to tap the button. So doing any type of reactionary work helps you react on the field faster, which in turn will make you a shiftier football player. Now, this next tip is mainly for you wide receivers and running backs. Now, again, we're gonna get into some drills that will be great for all positions to help your agility improve, but the thing that I get asked a lot is like, how can I work on my change of direction? How can I work on getting more yards after the catch, yards after contact? As a running back, how can I improve my carries, or whatever the case may be? When you break it down, changing direction on the field, making people miss, it's really like you're running routes. You're just running routes with the ball in your hand, and it's not a designed route. So how you improve that is by working on your route running, right? Like, think about it, guys. Like, if I'm running a curl route, and let's say I got to cut at this cone, like, what do I got to do? I got to drop my hips to get in and out of the curl route. I'm running with the ball, and I got a guy take a high angle. I mean, I got to drop my hips to be able to slip back underneath him. It's the same type of break. So the better route runner that you become, the better player you're going to be on the field with the ball actually in your hand. So that's for you running backs. Like, for running backs, a lot of times they work a lot on straightaway speed. They do a lot of footwork stuff, but they maybe lack route running training. If you guys work on your route running as a running back, you are going to be much better at change of direction. Sometimes at our camps, we'll have a guy come out who played running back at Oklahoma, but he's one of the best change of direction coaches that I've ever seen. So I just tell him, like, hey, like, dude, teach the change of direction stuff to wide receivers, tailor it to wide receiver route running, and the receivers get substantially better when they work with that guy, because it's all about change of direction. They both go hand in hand. So if you want to be better with change of direction, you want to get shiftier, make sure you work on your route running. Now, fellas, this next drill is a very, very simple drill that you could do to work on your ankle stability, okay, you guys? So we're going to be, I call this like our cone star drill, if you will, but essentially you're going to be doing 4 sets of like tapping your foot at each one of these cones while maintaining balance on the ball of your foot. So this works on ankle stability. It also works on balance and strength, which is what you need when you make a cut. Because remember, when we cut, the first part of my foot to hit the ground is the ball of my foot. So this drill, we're going to isolate that. Your heel is going to be elevated the entire time, and you're just tapping your foot at each one of these cones. So we're going to be doing 4 reps, or like 4 sets. You're going to rest, and you're doing like 3 rounds total on each leg of 4 sets. So how this is going to be, let's say I'm isolating my right foot here. You're going to stand on the ball of your foot. I don't know if you could see this, but my heel is like, I'm not on my tippy toes like I'm doing calf raises, but my heel is off the ground. And all we're going to be doing in this situation is we're just going to tap left, tap front, tap back. And you're going to do that 4 times. And we'll show you this full speed on the other leg in a second so you can see it. But your heel is elevated, and all you're going to do, obviously don't fall like that, all you're going to do is be heel elevated just like this, and you're going to tap, come back, tap, come back, tap, come back. And you should feel this in your ankle and in your calf. And you're just going to do that 4 times, you guys. And when you complete that, you're going to feel a little bit of burn. That's why it's important to do it on both legs. So you make sure that you do 3 rounds of 4 sets on the right leg, 3 rounds of 4 sets on the left leg. I'm going to show you how this should look full speed. This is a great exercise for you guys to improve your ankle stability and for you guys to improve your balance. So fellas, this next drill is going to be our hurdle crossover drill. You're going to be doing this while holding a football, and this crossover is a great move that you guys can use when you're running with the ball and you have a defender who's maybe like squared up and you're running straight towards him and you want to make him miss and then get up into either your carry, or you could also think of this as a receiver doing this move like mid-route or like a second level release where the DB's sitting at like 5 yards, okay? So you need 2 hurdles. Each hurdle is going to be spaced probably like 3 to 4 yards apart, or 3 to 4 yards from this start cone. If you don't have hurdles, you could easily do this with cones. Just make sure you don't cheat the cone and step over. This drill is better with hurdles because it forces you to have to get around, but if you don't have that, you just have cones, you can still get the same benefit. You just have to think more about not cheating the drill. So how this is going to go is we're going to be working a right-left crossover and then a left-right crossover. So we're going to show you this full speed in a second, and I want you guys to work 6 sets of this drill. But essentially all you're going to do is you're going to burst up, you're going to go out full speed to this first hurdle. Right when you get to the hurdle, leave yourself about a half a yard of space. A lot of times bigger guys, what they struggle with on change of direction drills is that they get too close and then they're off balance and they're not able to make their cut. Leave yourself about maybe half a yard of space while you're making this move so it's a little bit smoother. And that's how you would make a move in an actual game scenario. You wouldn't run right into the contact, you'd leave yourself some space. So treat it like a game. So we go up to here, it's right, left, pushing off of this foot, making sure we're staying on what part of my foot? The ball of the foot. Push up, next hurdle, left, right, push out, and then we accelerate through through and burst off of the last crossover for, I would say, probably about like 5 yards. So very, very simple drill to work on that crossover and to make sure you're doing this at a game speed. That's key, you guys. Anytime you're doing change of direction stuff, you got to treat it like a game. You got to be going at full speed and you got to be going at game speed. So again, guys, 6 rounds of this drill. I'm going to show you how it should look full speed.